So you know that endless void I figured out how to open that sucks everything out of the room when I do? Stars above, that's a way to start the conversation. Yeah, right? So I decided to open it again. And you did this despite having already lost an arm? Well, I thought it could be useful. Besides, a meat worker is already on the road. Why you still see fit to spy on the rest of the kingdom with your space-bending madness is beyond me. Hey, they managed to restore my eye after the first mishap. Progress, man. Every horrible accident leads to progress. Speaking of the terrifying void that sucked everything out of a room, yes, right. Yes, well, I figured out that there's a point where it can't suck anything out anymore. Huh. That's concerning. How? Well, water has currents. That's a given. Air has currents too. That's a given. If they both have currents, then they both have to be made of stuff, yeah? That is, as you said, a given. But air is a bit more abundant than water. How did you keep more from simply getting in, I suppose? Speaking of, where did you even open that portal anyway? Ah, that's the trick of it. I got a metal worker to make a big old copper sphere for me and seal it immediately after I opened a new portal inside. There was just a teensy-weensy porthole for line-of-sight purposes, and then he melded that shut for me. But if you sealed the sphere entirely, how do you know there wasn't any air in there anymore? Well, 'cause the thing collapsed in on itself, of course. It what? You know, it kind of just crunched inward. Big metal sphere became crumpled little ball. That's terrifying. And nobody got hurt? Of course not. I'd never let anyone except myself be injured by what I do. I'm crazy, not stupid. So anyway, the third time I opened the portal, yes, I opened it a third time. Shush, for a second I did so in a sphere that wasn't made out of copper. Stuff's too soft. I had the metal worker grab his guild leader, Kuyu, she's the one that works with adamantine. I convinced her to make another sphere for me to see what would happen. The copper sphere I can't conclusively say ran out of air. It just went crunch, but the adamantine one obviously couldn't, because the stuff is indestructible. Exactly. You get it. So after we sealed it, and I let the void portal sit there for a bit, I cut the spell and had her pop the cork. Almost immediately wind rushed in, and if it's anything like water, that means it was filling a void. Very well. How does this explain why you've come to my office to take up my time? I'm getting to that, if you'd stop interrupting me. So anyway, I figured since air acts like water, and we can already get water to act like air, I'd have someone from the waterworks dump some water in this adamantine sphere. I got someone from the earthworks to put in a little window funny tangent. That. Apparently the metalworks has been cooperating with the fireworks guild something about steady heat for their forges, and the fireworks figured an easy method of tempering sword blades for the love of all that's above. Get to the point. I am. Well, so anyway, the fireworks figured out how to temper the glass they make with the earthworks too, and that, so conveniently, is strong enough to not get shattered by the forces the void makes when it sucks out all the air in a sphere. The window. So the water worker has line of sight. They can hold the water away from the void portal that's possible. Gah, you just won't let me talk, will you? Yes, in a controlled environment. Anyway, yes. The important thing, the second the water worker let go, the water evaporated. I what? How did it get hot enough? See, that's the thing, it didn't. In fact, the earthworker thought he felt the temperature decreasing. My thoughts are this and agreed on by a wind worker later. Air kind of squishes down on everything, and when there's none of it, the water just kind of dissolves to fill the void. I'd say you were talking nonsense if I didn't know you found crazy shit like this before. Ha, thanks. But anyway, I think if we scale this up, we've got a source of steam now that doesn't exhaust our fireworks guild. So what you're saying is we could free up so many more of them for the stormworks in the war. But more than that, we could revolutionize everything. Think about it. The windworks only have to have the steam itself to work the pistons, and if anything, heat's a constant issue for them. You saw what happened the last time they lost control. Yo. Don't remind me. Yeah, well, and the heat plays a bigger factor in it than just that. Why no? Anything too hot starts venturing into fireworks territory, as I'm sure you well know, but not many people take the time to consider how that means hotter steam is harder for the windworks to control as a result. That's why we dedicate so many from the waterworks to cooling it all down. Heck, we'd free up so much more than just from the fireworks guild with this stuff. Cold steam. All right, I get it. So here's my question to you. How are we going to get more, void workers, to maintain these little voids of yours? Okay, firstly, that's a great new term, but I don't think voids are enough of a field yet to warrant it. Which actually segues into your question, and I've got the best answer for you. If we spare a metal worker to manipulate the gates of a given volume with airtight seals, we only need the one void. A water worker can fill an entry chamber with nothing but water, the metal worker sends it through, and a wind worker pulls it out. Only the one void needs to be made the one time, as long as we're careful. Well, I'll trust you to see it through, then. Here's my seal, you've got full authorization. Please don't take advantage of it for some unrelated insanity like last time. No promises.